Viewers, you're watching The Explosive Exclusive with me and Navika Kumar, and let me tell you, and today this message goes out in unambiguous terms to all of those who are questioning our journalism, Navika's exclusive breaking news on Friday. There has been, Navika, over the last 48 hours, 72 hours, a huge campaign against you, to vilify you, to target Times Now, accuse us of fakery, accuse you of manipulating facts. And it's being led by individuals who have a clear agenda to protect a particular coterie of individuals. I'm not getting into names here, viewers. It's not our style. But let me tell you, these people need to eat their words today, because India's #1 drug enforcement agency has come out and confirmed Times Now's newsbreak. Navika, why don't you elaborate for our viewers the significance of this?
Well, it's important because on Friday, we broke this story that there were names that had been taken by Rhea Chakraborty in her statement to the Narcotics Control Bureau. Did we say that there was any guilt? Did we say that this was wrong? Did we make a moral judgment or any judgment at all? No. We followed our dharma as journalists, that this is news. And news is, and any journalist worth his salt will say this, that if there are names that have been taken by Rhea Chakraborty in her statement to the NCB, then it's a matter of record, it's a matter of investigation, and it will be only a matter of time before these people are asked questions. Nobody is assigning guilt, nobody is making a judgment, but the fact is that these names have been taken, and that's exactly what we said on Friday, that Rhea Chakraborty has named Sara Ali Khan, has named Rakulpreet Singh, and has named Simone Khambatta as individual who hung around with herself and Sushant Singh Rajput and consumed drugs. It was just a statement of fact that was made by Rhea Chakraborty in her statement. She may have sent something before this, after this, we don't know, but definitely what I can bet my life on is that this is part of the statement, and a written statement signed by Rhea Chakraborty made to the Narcotics Control Bureau. And this is what we broke here on Times Now, on the News Hour at 9 p.m. on Friday. Yet, over the weekend, there have been deliberate attempts to question the newsbreak, to question the fact that the Narcotics Control Bureau has not done something like this. There has been no mention of these names. And that, some people have even come out and said that, these individuals are somebody's daughters. Yes, they are. But their names have been taken by Rhea Chakraborty. So all those who endorsed Rhea Chakraborty all through this investigation period, and who've said that Rhea Chakraborty is being vilified, she's taken these names. I haven't taken these names. Times Now hasn't taken these names. Nobody else has taken these names, but Rhea Chakraborty has taken these names. And that's the matter of fact that we put out on our show on Friday. And over the weekend, in social media, we've been vilified, saying that Times Now is a channel of fake news. I want to tell all those detractors who think that Times Now is a channel for fake news to eat their words, to apologize, and apologize again on every medium where they have questioned our journalism. And today, look at us in the eye and say, one thing that we've been wrong on in this entire investigation, in this entire story for the last 3 months, Navika, for 90 days.
It's not just look us in the eye. Look into the eyes of all those parents whose children have been led astray by criminals who push all sorts of banned contraband, viewers, onto the youth of this country. This story, I've been saying, is not just about justice for Sushant Singh Rajput. It's a big part of that, of course. But it is also about breaking the back of a mafia that is wrecking lives, viewers, glamorizing drug abuse. And that's precisely why, after a big internal debate, Navika decided to go ahead and put those names out. It wasn't as if, we were doing this for sensation. It was to get at the truth so that the various layers are exposed. It's like the unpeeling of an onion, viewers. At the heart lies a putrid core. Until that putrid core is not removed, is not decimated, we will have more Sushants. More deserving people will die. Is that acceptable? That's the fundamental question.
Absolutely. And did we make a judgment call on, or a moral judgment on the fact whether these people should or should not? It's up to them. But the fact is, everybody knows it's against the law,
yes.
Number one. Number two, if the laws have to be amended, then that's a separate conversation. As of now, as the law stands, it is against the law to be in possession of drugs, to source drugs in this manner. And whether or not these individuals are part of a syndicate is for the investigating agency to investigate and find out. We said no such thing. We said that the charge against Rhea Chakraborty is that she's part of a larger drug syndicate, and she has named these three people who hung out with herself and Sushant, and this is how they consume drugs. We did not mention at any stage that these people, these individuals were also part of a drug syndicate. It's not our job to say that. We had preliminary information that these individuals had been named. We've been proven right because the Narcotics Control Bureau has put out a statement saying, yes, these names have been mentioned by Rhea. And Bhavatosh Singh, joining us this evening was Bhavatosh Singh, Priyank Tripathi, as well as Siddhant and Tamal are also joining us on this broadcast. And Bhavatosh, why don't you give our viewers today the entire statement that was made by the Narcotics Control Bureau this morning, and why some channels who are busy trying to vilify us because they didn't get the story, and they're trying to tell everybody, we didn't get the story, but the story broken by Times Now is a fake story. Why don't you tell them what the Narcotics Control Bureau's statement that has been put out today says?
Navika, at around 10:28 this morning, a query was raised by several media personnel and organization about the newsbreak that we had given. And this query was answered by KPS Malhotra, the Deputy Director General Operations of NCB, and also the person who is heading the SIT. This is not some kind of an off-record statement that has been issued. It's on-record statement issued. The question that was asked, there has been an issue that whether the names of Sara Ali Khan, Simone Khambatta and Rakulpreet Singh surfaced during the investigation. The answer to that question is yes. Now that's what the NCB Deputy Director General Operations KPS Malhotra has clarified. He has said that the Times news break of Friday is confirmed that the names of three actors and also a friend of Rhea Chakraborty has surfaced during investigation. He did not go into details as to what will happen, but sources have told us that these three individuals will be called in for questioning by NCB as soon as they find the network. What they are saying is that they have to first find the network with which they are connected, and then summons will be issued to them. Clearly a confirmation from NCB, from the top officials of NCB, that the news break of Times Now last Friday is a correct one, and all the campaigns that were launched were in fact fake and malicious.
That's a very, very important intervention by the NCB. Now remember, viewers, you can threaten Times Now with litigation. You can say that we will have it shut down. You can come after each one of us. You can threaten us through your underworld contacts. But don't dare question our credibility. We are not alloyed to anybody. We are not paid by anybody. We do our job to the best of our abilities. There will be mistakes, and we are the first ones who put up our hands and apologize. No other channel has that record, putting out corrigenda or clarifications, because we are modest and we are absolutely unalloyed. Now I want to bring in at this stage Tamal. Tamal, the questioning, Siddhant is also there with us. Tamal, first to you. You have been seeing a whole galaxy of people coming in and out of the NCB. Now, these statements by Rhea Chakraborty have been made. Yes, her lawyer has come out and said that, oh, these were made under duress, etc., etc. But the fact is that you have seen a large number of individuals belonging to a network that have come in there to be questioned. Some of them are arrested today.
Well, that's right, Rahul. Even as we speak, Sara Ali Malhotra, the good friend and close school friend of Showik Chakraborty, Showik Chakraborty is Rhea Chakraborty's brother. He's there inside the NCB office and his examination is still on. Going by NCB, they are not calling it an arrest as yet, but possibly the arrest might happen as the day progresses. His name had cropped up during the drug chats which have come to the light and NCB had stumbled upon. And those drug chats clearly indicate that Showik Chakraborty had been working in close coordination, in close cohorts with people like Sara Ali Malhotra and others, Samuel Miranda and also Kamal Jait, and that kind of has reflected upon a syndicate which is operational. Having spoken to several NCB people or officials, they are saying that this is not just one syndicate. They are going after each and every syndicate. And yes, it's true that during the course of Rhea Chakraborty's examination, Sara Ali Khan's name had been given out by Rhea Chakraborty herself. NCB has confirmed that. Just not Sara Ali Khan, even Rakulpreet's name had also been given out by Rhea Chakraborty. Having spoken to NCB sources again, they are saying that in the seizure from Rhea Chakraborty's house, there are electronic devices which have now kind of showed up, videos, chats and conversations which indicate that Rhea Chakraborty and Sara Ali Khan had bonded over drugs, contrabands and marijuana. That's what NCB is saying. The reason why they are not ruling out the possibility of someone being sent to Sara Ali Khan too as the week progresses. What you're being told, tomorrow onwards, summons will be given to several people who are either associated with Bollywood directly or could be indirectly associated with Bollywood, had been organizing parties for Bollywood, and from Thursday onwards this week, these people would be expected and asked to appear before the investigating agency in person.
Very, very crucial. I think what Tamal is telling us, we'll have to really look at very, very closely, because you also learned from your sources, of course, that a large number of these celebrities are going to be summoned for questioning. What, in your assessment, are the questions really going to be? Are they going to go beyond drug usage, or is it going to be focused on?
The question is simply this. The question is simply, I don't know. I can't second guess the investigation agencies, but what they are trying to find out is how many of these stars are actual consumers alone? How many of them are conduits for supplying it to others? Are there any such parties, rave parties that take place where large quantities of drugs happen? Which are the locations where these happen? They're piecing together with each name that comes out. They're trying to piece together this entire ring. How does it work? Is it that some people are in the business of procuring and supplying, while others are just consumers? If they are just consumers, and not a part of the supply chain, then there are different rules and different laws that will apply to them. But there are others who hold these parties on a regular basis, have specific people coming out and supplying this contraband kind of drugs and substances. Then that's a different kind of a law that has to apply to them. And in all of this, what they're going to be looking at is, did any of this have a role in the death of Sushant Singh Rajput? Was it an overdose of drugs? Was he being fed by somebody? Was he being given these by somebody? Did he know that he was having this on his own? Was it his own choice, or were some cocktails being prepared for him which he didn't know about? All of this. And whether it was really a drug overdose or a suicide or a homicide through some other means, all of this is part of the investigations, and there are three 3 investigation agencies. The Narcotics Control Bureau is looking at the drugs angle, the Enforcement Directorate looking at the motive, which could be money or also money that Sushant Singh Rajput had, and they're looking at this money laundering aspect of it. But the criminal part of it is, of course, going to be around the murder, the circumstances, and all of these agencies will then give all this input to the CBI.
Murder has not been discounted as of now. That's what you're suggesting.
Certainly not. Okay. Certainly not. That is exactly why there is a forensic analysis led by the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, which is going into this whole thing. So they're going to look at it, whether it is murder, whether it is suicide, whether it's an overdose. If the overdose has been done, then whether it is out of his own will that Sushant Singh Rajput did this, or were there other people involved who gave him that kind of cocktail of contraband substances. All of this is part of the investigation. But the point really here, Rahul, is that there is a lobby sitting out there. There is a lobby which is a general lobby. Somewhere, you know, even in the Sushant Singh Rajput case, all those people who say this is connected to the Bihar elections have suddenly taken upon themselves to prove that there is, you know, if you are looking at the murder aspect of Sushant Singh Rajput's mysterious death, then you are a pro-Modi lobby. And if you are looking at Rhea's rights, then you are a liberal lobby. Now, I don't know where they get this from. This is the death of a star, and there are instances and there are facts that have come out that prove that there is something suspicious in this. That's how we got into the story, and that's how we followed it. And one thing has led to another, and we've come this far. And Times Now has been at the forefront bringing these facts to light at a time when the Mumbai police, the Maharashtra government wanted to shut this case completely and move on to the next big thing that they were looking at. But this lobby will call us bhakts, will call us, fake news people, fake news channel. When have they ever done a honest piece of journalism, or when have they not been vultures who have been preying on us, wishing that we were dead, rather than bringing out facts that viewers today want to know about. Yes. Facts in a case which are important to make the distinction between a suicide and a murder. And look at this entire right to life of an individual and the family of Sushant Singh Rajput. But yesterday on social media, I had a 2-bit director, tagging me and abusing me and asking me questions. Oh, Sara Ali Khan is somebody's daughter and Rakulpreet Singh is somebody's daughter. Of course, sir, I know that. But I'm also somebody's daughter. How dare you abuse me? How dare you abuse me? All those who think that women's rights are being sacrificed when Rhea Chakraborty was arrested, I want to ask them tonight, what about me? Am I not a woman? I don't want any special handling. I don't want any special concessions from anybody. But I'm just saying that putting out the truth in public domain, is that a crime in this country? Are we supposed to be cowed down by these individuals who begin to abuse us on social media only because we put out the facts that have now been confirmed by the Narcotics Control Bureau?
Which are inconvenient to somebody. That's the basic point. You see, viewers, from day one, a firewall is being built around a certain coterie of individuals. Why? Why are they being so privileged?
Because, I'll tell you why. Because there is a set system. Drug peddlers aate hain, party hoti hai, drugs lete hain, good time is what they have, and nothing in this nexus should be disturbed. Because nobody likes change. Nobody likes questions being asked. Nobody likes them being shown the rule book that what they are doing is against the law. No. And that is what is Bollywood's Achilles heels. And of course, there are hangers on who will sing in the chorus, anywhere and everywhere, because for them, they have their own specific targets and they want their own, 30 seconds of fame and 30 seconds of relevance by trying and targeting us. And I want to go across to Priyank Tripathi. Priyank Tripathi, Let me go to
Shehzad
Siddhant
is
Mishra.
also there with us.
Let me go across to Siddhant Mishra. And Siddhant, I want to ask you, when this question was asked to the NCB about Rakulpreet Singh, Sara Ali Khan and Simone Khambatta's names coming up, was this a group, WhatsApp group on which this answer was given? Or is it only to Times Now's reporters when they asked this reply was given? I want to know this because I want people to know whether this was made publicly in a statement to the entire media which is covering this particular story.
Well, Navika, you see there are two groups of Narcotics Control Bureau, one for the Delhi reporters and one for the Mumbai reporters. Now, in both the group, Mr. KPS Malhotra has put out the message very clearly that these three names have come out during the course of an interrogation of Rhea Chakraborty, and Rhea Chakraborty has given these names. Now, Navika, the fact is, adding on to what you have just said, it has become a trend here. Since we have been leading the entire investigation, whatever stories we do, whatever news breaks we do, there is a trend. Immediately all these reporters go to the officers and ask them if this is not a fact, then at least issue a denial immediately. At least deny the story of Times Now. So this is a kind of a campaign that is being run against us. Not just you, Navika, everybody of us. And this has become a trend, this I have been seeing. Now, on the very first day, Navika, when you broke that story, we all were very confident, and we have list of more people also, Navika, which we are still verifying. So at that point in time also, they immediately rushed to the officers and asked them to deny the story as Times Now is simply taking names without any proof. They don't have any proof. Now you see, Navika, 2 days after your news break, the agency has come out with a clear message saying that yes, these three names have come up during the course of an interrogation. Rhea Chakraborty herself has given name, and not just this, Navika, there are several other names also which are there with me, which are there with you. We are still verifying, and we'll be putting out those names for our viewers. Now the fact here is, Navika, that they are questioning us that why we are after Bollywood when only 500 grams is being recovered, or 13 grams is recovered. The fact here is, Navika, it's not just about marijuana, it's not just about any drug. It's about how the black money is being circulated in the country, how the terror is being financed on the money that they make.
Exactly, but I don't understand why this lobby will not look at the terror angle, will not look at the dirty money angle, will not look at the drugs angle, will not look at the fact that India's security, it's not just about Bollywood's parties, for God's sake. It's much more sinister than that. It is about the underworld. It is about India's security and the vulnerability because of this drug trafficking. Let me get in our guests this evening. Suresh Nakhwa, Chandni Shah, advocate, Shehzad Poonawala, Raj Kamal, advocate, Vikas Gupta, lawyer, Saira Shah Halim, activist, and Akash Deep Sabir. I want to come across to you first, Shehzad Poonawala, because yesterday I saw you were pretty active on social media when I was being attacked. What do you put this down to, Shehzad? This whole lobby which stands up for Rhea but has no compunctions abusing me.
Well, Navika, the distinction is not between the lobby that is pursuing liberalism and illiberalism. The distinction is between outstanding journalists like you and out-of-work journalists who are attacking you, trying to portray that this story was a fake story, although they have a history and their entire DNA is of doing fake stories. This is a distinction between the people who are pursuing PR versus those who are doing proper research. That is you. And therefore, they are very upset that now the drug nexus has been unearthed by you. The Bollywood drug aghadi that was being allowed to be protected by the Mumbai police and the political class of Maharashtra has been outed by you, and therefore they have been given the task to attack those who are bringing out the truth, and therefore you are one of the people. They have attacked Kangana Ranaut, they have attacked other media organizations that are also saying this thing, and they have attacked Times Now vociferously. Rahul and Navika, they are personally trying to target you all, and therefore this is part of the campaign. Anybody who speaks on the truth of the Sushant Singh Rajput case is bound to be targeted. But here is my question today. My question is simply this, that why was there such a desperation by certain out-of-work journalists last evening to try and protect those big Bollywood stars who are being named in this drug racket? That means they are directly or perhaps indirectly on the payrolls of this entire Maha drug Aghadi. Why else would they be taking so much pain to contradict stories? A journalist would always welcome any new fact emerging. So I think that instead of being a Thali ka Bengan, and I don't want to say that this is close to the Twitter handle of any Thali ka, of any other person, but instead of being a Thali ka Bengan in journalism, they should come and accept that this is the truth in the entire case. And they should perhaps say, I'm sorry, Babu, on Twitter to you, Navika.
Well, let me get in Sara Shah Halim. Sara Shah Halim, I want to ask you, the legitimacy of raising the issue of feminism being questioned because Rhea Chakraborty is today in jail. You know, there are people who have written articles in foreign newspapers about this. There are people who come out and say justice for Rhea. You know, in a criminal case, in a case of drug abuse, it's the law, or is criminality decided on gender? And if it is decided on gender and Rhea has to be protected because she is a woman, then Sara Shah Halim, I want to ask you, why does this lobby then not really check itself when it takes on other women and abuses other women like myself on social media?
I'll say one thing, Navika. I won't engage in demonizing any woman because I know how difficult it is to stand up for your convictions in today's day and age, being a woman myself. So here, I like to say that the lobby or whatever, firstly, there's no lobby, because there can be a lot of name calling on both sides of the fence. All I'm trying to say, it's perhaps a difference in opinion. A lot of feminists and a lot of liberals, a lot of people think that Rhea is unnecessarily being demonized for possession of drugs that she consumed for her personal usage, and she's not part of a syndicate. Now, there are 3 national agencies who are anyway investigating the very unfortunate death of Sushant Singh Rajput. All of us are mourning the death. He was precious to all of us. So to say that no, he was not precious to a certain segment of society, that is wrong. We all followed his work. We all are.
Are you saying, Sara Shah Halim, if somebody consumes drugs and somebody is caught on chats, having this supply chain, which is being discussed, should not be investigated? And it is in this country banned that 3 investigation agencies should get into an investigation. What is the point that you're making? Are you saying that usage of drugs is allowed by the law? Are we saying that? Because as the law exists today, even consumption is not allowed. And procurement, arrangement, and running a kind of a significant is certainly not allowed. So what are you saying? Should the law be changed?
Give me a second, please. Yeah. So what I'm saying is definitely, because under the NDSP Act of 1985, anybody in possession of drugs, whether it's for personal consumption or whether it is to supply drugs or whether you're part of, contraband usage or you are a peddler or anyway, is illegal. But I'm just iterating once again
that
why is not one woman, because there is a pressure on top to implicate her in something or the other. If not,
court is under pressure.
1 second. Look, you've got to
manufacture those WhatsApp chats.
No one is implicating anybody.
All these facts.
The truth is the truth. Now look, I just want to, before we take a quick break, just a barely 2-minute break, viewers, just think about this. Sushant Singh Rajput passed away on the 14th of June. Within minutes, people had already pronounced their verdict on what killed him. He has no rights, of course.
And today is 14th of September.
And today is 14th of September, 90 days. Think about that, viewers. We're taking a short break. We're coming right back. More disclosures on this story. Don't go away.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And Chandni Shah, I want to come back to you. Is this, in law, allowed to look at gender, especially when we are discussing criminal issues. You know, whether or not Rhea is part of a drug syndicate, whether or not the Narcotics Control Bureau can in the end prove this in a court of law, whether or not Rhea Chakraborty will finally walk free and the case will not be proved in the court, or whether there is enough evidence to convict her, we don't know. It's part of the process now because the investigations are now. But Chandni, according to the sections that have been applied on Rhea Chakraborty, we as journalists can only go by that. And according to that, the fact is that she has been seen as a procurer, arranger, as well as consumer of drugs, and she has given 3 names. Where does being a woman or not being a woman come into this? Number one. And all those who are looking at women's lib in the middle of this, what about their completely hypocritical standards when dealing with the woman who's put out these investigations in public domain?
Navika, first of all, in the eyes of law, everyone is equal. There is no gender bias in the eyes of law. The sections that have been put out on Rhea Chakraborty, that is section 21, 22B, 27A, 28, 29, all these sections, they are serious sections. They are sections for procurement. They are sections for peddling. There are financial angles involved. And until and unless the Mr. Manashinde or these feminazis or pseudo-liberals, they can prove that Rhea is also a scientist or a medical practitioner. She's something. She's one of these two, professions other than actor, because only these two people are allowed to procure drugs. Apart from that, if anyone is procuring drugs for any other purpose, it is punishable, unbiased of the gender. It does not matter of the gender. And I would want to congratulate you, Navika, that you are doing a fantastic job. Journalism is a big responsibility, and you are keeping up with that responsibility, par excellence. So let all these people say whatever they want. You are just doing your job amazingly well.
Well, Vikas Gupta, the NCB says that these names have surfaced. So I want to ask you, why is there a lobby which on a daily basis wants to put doubts in the minds of people based on some fake facts that they conjure up in their own minds?
Bhavika, there is a precise reason for such a thing to happen. As one of the earliest panelists said that such sections have been invoked. If you tell me for a simple hurt of 323, if you invoke attempt to murder of 307, and in the remand application, the judge only looks because the section has been invoked without any material, I think that is quite contrary to what law is.
Okay.
27A.
So Shehzad, should the court decide on that? Should the court decide on that, or should lawyers sitting here on the panel or journalists like me decide on that?
No, if
that is the fact, then why did the court extend the custody? Shehzad Poonawalla, I want to ask you.
I think that is the problem with Times now. They don't want to hear a contrarian view.
We've heard all the abuses, sir.
No,
we've been hearing all the abuses.
If you called me as a lawyer, I'm going to explain you the law itself. Which others, otherwise, what is actually happening in this case is that you show me the man, I'll show you the crime,
The law is, 1 second, sir. Are you saying the court is not, the court has made an error? Are you saying the court is wrong? Are you saying Vikas Gupta is right? Sara Ali is right?
Of course, the court has erred.
Right? And it is wrong. Are you saying that? Are you saying the court is wrong?
has erred in not granting bail to her. Because
so you will get relief in the High Court, but why? 1 second. The question is, Navika.
Illicit financing under 27A has a very wider implication. It can't be.
Navika, these are arguments to be made before the court. If I can just have a... Okay, Mr. Gupta, I heard you.
1 second, one at a time.
I want to say something.
I heard you. Let me just come in for 20 seconds. I'm already on a Skype line. It's a little difficult to talk. You know, Rahul, these are the kind of feminists, I call them roses are red, violets are blue feminists. Roses are red, violets are blue. Let's smash patriarchy, me and you nahi hai. Roses are red, violets are blue. They've gone after Rhea. We are in queue. This is the real face of these feminists. They know that after Rhea, she will spill the beans and unka naam aayega. That's why all these so-called panelists, journalists, and Bollywood A-listers are fighting with Navika.
If you have problem with such panelists, you don't want to hear the legal view, then that's your problem. Somebody else's
Vikas, one second.
You have to understand the law.
Mr. Suresh Nakwa also joins the panel. Suresh ji, you're raising your hand. Yes, go ahead.
Overboard here.
1 second. Coming to you.
The point is, what the panelist legal luminary is saying, the High Court, the court, the designated court has erred in its order. I mean, then they should go to a higher court. I mean, by saying they have done an error, they have done a mistake, isn't it doing the contempt of court? So if you want to go for an appeal. Now, coming to the point of abuse, yesterday I saw a has-been journalist who has been a serial abuser, abusing Navika Kumar left and right. Even I would like to congratulate Navika Kumar that now even they have made you also a fake news peddler. I mean, while these are the same journalists...
Akashdeep, that's a very important point.
Who had faked their full...
Akashdeep, Sabir, very important point being made.
Defense Minister George Fernandez.
Mr. Sabir, very good point being made there.
Rahul, I've lost the audio prior to this. Can you just fill me with the question, please?
The question is straightforward, sir. Why is an attempt being made by a certain lobby of individuals to suppress the truth continuously in the investigation into the unnatural circumstances in which Sushant Singh Rajput died?
I do agree with you that the behavior on part of the current dispensation in the state has been odd. But I think we passed that, and despite resistance, the matter is with the CBI. Now, let anyone say what they have to. Let true statements be made. It's water over a duck's back. The CBI will come out with the truth. There doesn't seem to be just a straight case of a normal suicide for sure. Circumstantial evidence is putting up too many questions. I'm happy with the media, people like you and everybody who highlighted this issue, and hence central agencies have come in. I'm a little unsure on whether cleaning out Bombay of drugs is a new issue that's been taken over, or it's ultimately going to join the dots with Sushant. I'd look forward to knowing on that. As of now, I would like to say we should all now wait. The central agencies are doing their job.
No, it's not about... No, hang on. You can wait in the wings and you can keep, extending these platitudes. We're not talking about that, sir. We are talking about an attempt to shake the faith in the agencies. It's an attempt by a motivated lobby by constantly suggesting that there is politics, only politics that is influencing the investigation. So let's not, no, 1 second. I need to make this very clear. Akashdeep, Sabir, we are all willing to wait. We have waited 90 days. And what is the Mumbai police done? Zilch. The drugs angle, let me tell you, sir, the drugs angle has nothing to do with Sushant Singh Rajput's death, at least as of now. It is something that is happening and playing out in the background. It could very well be that tomorrow we find out that he was administered drugs in a manner without his consent that led to his death. That could very well happen. We are not at that stage right now. But the point that I am making, Mr. Sabir, and please note the point, I find it very, very strange that the Mumbai police has till now not even gone after those people who are in the drug trade. What is stopping that? Can you explain?
Let the drug probe also end, Rahul. It has to be clean.
The issue was not ever about the NCB coming into it. The NCB, no one made a demand for the NCB. The demand was for a CBI inquiry. But because there are now issues, no, 1 minute, because the basic, digital evidence that was very easy to have looked at, which the Mumbai police did not, has thrown up this. And this is very dangerous, sir. Do you know, and let me bring in, 1 second, let me bring in Shahzad. 1 second, gentlemen, 1 second, let me bring in Shahzad. Shahzad, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
There has been, for at least 30 years, an attempt to, at some level or the other, suppress the drugs, Neta, police, Bollywood, underworld link. Mr. N.N. Voda's report, where is it? And this is because there's a cozy nexus. Everyone is making money off it. Let's be honest. Come on, you live in the state of Maharashtra.
Absolutely, Rahul. Absolutely. Rahul, the first ever and the most long-lasting Maha Aghadi is actually the Aghadi between the drug peddlers, the mafia, the Dubai mafias, and the political beta-betis and the political godfathers who are running the political establishment in Maharashtra. So this is the most long-lasting political Aghadi that has been going on in Maharashtra for the last 50 years. But the point is that is the reason why they never allowed the truth in the Sushant matter to ever emerge. If they would have allowed the Rhea Chakraborty drug link to come out, then this entire drug nexus, this drug Aghadi of Bollywood and political class would have come out. These names would have come out, and they didn't want that to happen. That's why Mumbai police actually did the biggest cover-up job in the last 65 days of the investigation that it had, and it allowed the investigation to go on to another course. But today I have one question of these roses are red, violets are blue feminists. Why didn't you take a stand?
Now, or they were always
Why didn't you
there?
take a stand for Kangana and Navika?
An opportunity, sir. History has presented us with an opportunity. The moment is now. Seize the moment.
The CBI to present you with an opportunity. Are you? Don't people know every gully, every street, every school, every college, half of Punjab, the whole of the world is plagued with this? You needed a Sushant or a Kangana or a CBI.
2020, the investigation was handed over to the CBI. Let the investigating agencies conduct the investigation. I think this is a classic case. I would also say, I really deprecate this practice.
It's a classic case of obfuscation, says Raj Kamal. Raj Kamal says obfuscation. Everything is an obfuscation. The truth is, one second, the biggest casualty here.
The fact that the practice should have been deprecated, that there should not have been profanity and abuses on the social media. But one thing for sure, I want to bring on record, the investigating agencies are conducting investigation right now. And it is at a very nascent stage. And I think it's a case of going overboard.
Okay, case of going overboard. Sir, a young man died. His parents had alerted the Mumbai police about the fact that he was being exposed to activities which were harmful to his life and his existence. The script has played out according to their apprehensions. And you're saying we are overblowing this case, sir. There is one second. There is a case for securing justice. Even for 1 minute. Hang on. Every citizen's life matters, sir. Every citizen's life matters. Every citizen's life matters. Every citizen is a paid-up member of our society, sir. They all pay their taxes. They all have a right to be protected. The Constitution and the law applies equally to everybody. Now, 1 minute. 1 second. Viewers, we need to move beyond. We're coming to the end of this show, but I just want to tell you, viewers, that we are going to be breaking a massive story at 8 p.m. At 8 p.m., we'll be back with a massive investigation. You know that there has been a huge controversy over Umar Khalid's arrest. On the day of Umar Khalid's arrest, the ugly truth has been caught, viewers, on tape. The group that is linked to Khalid has been exposed, and the people who are exposing the group linked to Umar Khalid in the Delhi riots are the ones, ironically, who are backing Umar Khalid. What is going on? Those that are supposed to in public, that are in fact in public defending Umar Khalid, are in private, and they've been caught on camera saying that the group that he is linked to is an radical organization that is infecting Muslim minds and turning them against the Indian state. How is this possible? How is this possible, viewers, that in public they defend Umar Khalid? They say that the government is against Umar Khalid for having an alleged association with a group. But in private, they say that the charges are justified. They almost admit it. Can you believe this, viewers? And the question is, what is the motive? Why one face in public and one in private? Tapes are out, viewers. It's all on camera. And those people will have to answer. They will have to come out and explain. Navika, the hypocrisy of the left completely exposed, the lobby once again exposed.
Well, that's the big story coming up on India Upfront with Rahul Shivshankar at 8 p.m. And of course, at 9 p.m., I'll be back with more and more on the investigations on the Sushant Singh Rajput case. Well, we have a lot of breaking news, exclusive news lined up for you on Prime Time today. Stay with us, stay tuned, because we'll bring you the right news and we'll bring you the news
well, we may
that
as well tell them, Navika, let's not leave them in so much suspense. At 9 o'clock, viewers, is going to be a massive revelation in the Sushant Singh Rajput case. Navika, don't want to prejudge. I don't want to preempt you, but this is a big story.
Yes, and all those who have their guns out for me, come on. I'm waiting for you at 9 p.m. this evening. Thank you very much for joining Rahul and me on the Explosive Exclusive. We'll be back on our shows. Don't go anywhere just yet.